A bull ring in his native Spain provides the setting for Delgado's most spectacular demonstration.
He's this little guy, he's wearing a sweater and a tie, and he comes out with the traditional cape, but also holding a radio transmitter.
Certainly this tiny scientist is no match for the bull. Luckily for Dr. Jose Delgado, he has a secret weapon, mind control.
The scene is set up to be a bloodbath. The bull begins to charge at Dr. Delgado. And he presses a button on a little transmitter he's holding, and the bull immediately stops in its tracks, shakes its head in confusion, and then calmly walks away.
We've all heard of a remote-controlled car, but a remote-controlled bull?
He has previously implanted electrodes in this particular bull's head, in its caudate nucleus, that are intended to cut the bull's natural aggression.
However, the area of the brain that Delgado is targeting has another function.
The reality here is that the caudate nucleus is partially responsible for motor control. And so what Dr. Delgado is actually doing is causing the bull to freeze in place.
When Delgado presses the button, a signal short-circuits that area in the bull's brain just momentarily, but just enough to stop the charge.
That freeze button might sound like a dream to some married people, but for one couple, it's a reality.
Kevin Warwick is a professor of cybernetics at Reading University in England, and in 1998, he decides to go from lecturing about a subject to being part of it.
Dr. Warwick transplants 100 electrodes into his left forearm. The electrodes are connected to a smart building, and so his arm can communicate via radio signals to the technology in the building.
So when he enters the building, the doors will open, the lights turn on, his computer goes to his favorite website.
Remarkable, sure. But in 2002, Dr. Warwick kicks it up a notch.
Professor Warwick has a more advanced microelectrode surgically implanted into his body, and this now allows him to directly communicate with his computer just by thinking about it.
So you're trying to think of something. Think of moving your hand. That is your brain working.
The connection is so good between the human mind and technology that he is able to send commands to open and close a robotic hand in New York. So the power of his mind is jumping the Atlantic and moving a piece of cybernetic technology.
So this is the beginning. But he wants this terminal not to be hooked up to some machine, but to be connected to another human being.
Not just any human being. Dr. Warwick, or Captain Cyborg as he's dubbed by his peers, has the perfect person in mind.
Captain Cyborg does something that most married men are reluctant to do. He has a processor inserted into his wife, Irina.
He and his wife are literally in communication at the level that you only ever get with your own body.
The communication that happens is when his wife thinks about opening or closing her hand, which then sends a signal back into Warwick's arm, causing his hand to open and close.
His wife has control over his body. I don't like giving anyone that I'm dating control of the remote control.
Kevin Warwick's experiments give us a glimpse into a future where cyborg technology, as strange as it may seem, is part of our everyday lives.
We are moving toward a cyborg future for humanity where we have chips implanted in our bodies and we communicate with the world around us. Imagine if you could actually just think and turn on the lights, run your bath, make your coffee. We have the old commercial, "Help me, I've fallen and can't get up." Imagine if you could just think that and rescuers come for you. The future of humanity is unlimited because humans are so smart and amazing.